Hello everyone and welcome to another How Sees It review. Today I am doing a review of Away Team Bingo. This is one of the latest roll and write games from Eury Dice Games, and would like to thank them for providing a copy of this for review. This is a really fun push your luck roll and write game. It is for 1 to 6 players, ages 10 and up. Is the recommended age here, and 10 to 30 minutes, they say. I did a solo walkthrough of this, and that was about an hour. Now that, I was explaining the rules as well as explaining my thought process. But I would say that a full game here, I think would be closer to 30 minutes myself. But that being said, the rules here, everything, as far as the print and play concept of this, I think works really well. A few things that I really like about this print and play as well is that it is very minimalistic of what you need to print, what you need in addition to what's provided. So that is a huge plus for me. A lot of print and play type games, you may have to print cards, right? And front and back, cutting those out, laminating all these different things, tokens. This is very, very simple as far as what it requires of you, right? So number one, with the print and play, there is low ink and high ink versions. So this is the low ink versions that I have here printed out. Again, not maybe, like real fancy looking, but it works well. And the high ink does look nice. I apologize for for this video. I don't have, I haven't printed off one of those, but I am going to be including a link in the description of this review to their website, to the campaign, as this is coming to Gamefound here shortly. And so you can check those out. Some great looking images. The idea with those high ink, or that the ones with more kind of graphical elements to it, is you can take that to a print shop, or if you have a nice printer at home, print a few versions of that. There is included in the game multiple variations that provide a lot of variability as well. But the idea is you can print those nicer versions, laminate them, and just reuse that again and again. So, and I think hopefully I will do that here in the near future, because I think this is definitely a fun one. So that being said, what do you need? So the rules here, a few pages long. There's a lot of descriptions. There's examples here. They have some acknowledgments here at the end. But a few pages, nothing big. You don't necessarily need to have these printed out either. So you could reference these digitally on your phone, iPad, or something like that. And then, of course, for the games themselves, really you just need one sheet per player. So everything is on one sheet, which is a big plus, right? So you're not dealing with even printing out multiple copies and different things. It's a very straightforward. Everyone gets the same sheet that you're playing with. There's basically sheets 1 and 2 of the kind of original or basic game, and then there's sheets 1 and 2 of the advanced sheets as well. So that's great. You just one sheet. Everyone's going to need a writing utensil, a pen here. And really, even with solo versus the multiplayer here, really you just need one die. You can have multiples to, keep track, but of like rolling one and setting that, because you're going to be rolling these for a column, and then you're going to be rolling for the row. So it could be nice to utilize 2 dice, but honestly, I just do the 1. So it's been nice. You column 6, roll again, 4. So it's pretty basic, so I like that. I like that element that, the components, very easy, writing utensil, a single die, I can come up with that. I don't have to come up with any special dice or a ton of dice that you may or may not have at home. It's very simple with that. The rules are good. I went through these. You see some of my markings. This was my initial read through. They did make some updates, it sounds like, based on some of my feedback. So really, I think it's laid out well. And I did as I mentioned at the beginning of this, I did a how to play solo playthrough of this game as well. This is how I ended up at the end of that. And so I walk you through in some more detail. If you're interested, put a link in the description in this video for that video as well. So let's talk about the actual game itself. So just real briefly, the basic concept of the game is you're going to be playing 3 different rounds or going on 3 different missions. And of each of those missions, you're going to select a crew before you start that. And that could be made up of various amounts of different types of crew members. You can have up to 5 crew go on the mission with you. You can have commanders, scientists, military folks. I'm trying to think of the right name that they use for them. But I have the crew members. The rules here go through and explain each of them and basically why you're taking them. Marines, so I can think of that. So you have commanding officer, engineering officer, science officer, medical officer, and you have some Marines as well. And this key is really great. As I went through the rules initially, it kind of talks about things in a thematic way of what they're all doing, which is really great. But I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to remember all this. But it's all built in on this one single sheet. So everything's contained here. I really love that. But it's really fun. So the basic concept, you're going to choose your crew, assign them to certain numbers. For example, this is one of the missions that I played. This first mission, I took 1 of each. So there's 5 different types of crew members. And so I took 1 of each. And with the game, the basic concept is that you are rolling the die first. You're going to choose the column from that die. And then you decide, am I going to stay and go on this mission, or am I going to go back to the ship, take any points that I have from this mission, this round, and go store them. So it's a push your luck, but it also provides at least some sort of strategic decision here, which I really appreciate. So after you've rolled the die, you're going to have this column. You decide, hey, yes, I'm going to go on this mission. I'm going to roll the die again. And now I'm going to go to that specific location, that area. And based on that other die roll there, we have numerous locations that you're going to be visiting. Thematically, kind of go through some of the examples here. So you have peaceful scenery. This when you're there, you can send Marines to do some surveying. The alien horde. This is a nightmare. This is like gonna be hugely detrimental to the mission. Basically, you're trying to avoid this at all costs. Really, it's interesting. As far as the symbology and iconography of the game, I think it's fairly good and goes well. I think the least favorite are the hostile alien and the alien horde, honestly. It's like a lightning bolt and a bunch of lightning bolts is what I see from this. The alien horde, I would maybe suggest different iconography like skull and crossbones, or like warning, or something that is just like, because this is the one that you're trying to avoid at all costs. It does represent, like I think maybe like a laser fire or something. This represents a hostile alien, where this is a peaceful alien. But I feel like those iconographies, at least currently, I guess they could update that. Seems a little off to me, but the alien horde definitely miss those. You have injured aliens that you can come across and heal to score points. You have dangerous terrain. If you don't have a medic, you're going to lose crew. Poisonous foliage. You also have to kill someone at random unless you have a medic who can learn some things from that. Peaceful aliens. The alien port here. Hopefully with your commanding officer, you can get a bunch of points. 5 discoveries. Basically, points are equal to discoveries here. Alien cities, which is kind of funny because with this one thematically is kind of interesting. If you have a living marine on the mission, they misinterpret an alien gesture, leading to a fight that kills a crew member at random. Otherwise, you gain 4 discoveries. So not having a crew member is going to score you some points. With this, we have alien ruins, alien genius. We have opportunities to progress in some tracks. This is a hidden door, which I didn't remember what it was in my solo playthrough. But if you have an engineer, you're able to get some points. So there's some good thematic things here, but the gameplay I think works well. You're going to start out, you're going to just keep going initially, right? You are going to get to the point where, yeah, those alien hordes are going to make it so that you are going to preemptively say, hey, look, we got to cut our losses here. We got to take our points that we got, even if it's only a meager 15 points, and head back to the ship. Because if we don't, we're going to lose a bunch of crew. We're not going to get any points. And so it provides a lot of interesting strategy there with the game. So when you roll this and you're going columns and rows, I do appreciate that they covered, with this mission here, a lot more successful. You can see again, getting back to the name, Away Team Bingo. Part of this, yes, you have the crew members and the scientific thing, and I think the theming and everything works really well here. It gets to the fact that you're also really trying to get bingos, right? So you get +7 discoveries or points for completing columns, 10 for rows, and each time you complete a diagonal, you are going to double whatever discoveries you currently have on that mission. So there's really kind of that push your luck element of, okay, I want to keep going. I want to get as many points as possible. There's the strategic decision of who am I going to send on this mission? You have a lot of freedom here. You could choose all 5 commanders if you wanted to. Is that the smartest thing? Probably not. Initially playing, and I've always played with 5 members, but you don't have to take 5 members. You could take less than that. And, I asked them, why would you do that? Like, I think you want more options, but really, you get to the point where you have had a lot of crew losses. Each additional loss goes up significantly, as you can see here. I lost 3 crew members for -9 points, but each one, this is a -7 jump for that one, and then a -9 jump for that one, -11 more for that. So you may get to that point where if you've suffered a lot of losses, maybe you don't want to take as many crew members, because if you don't take those crew members and those randomly crew members are lost, it's all by die roll. And so if I only have, 1 or 2 people, then anytime I roll a 3, 4, 5, or 6, then none of my crew are going to be lost, which is an interesting concept. So that being said, there is variability from the sheets as far as where things are arranged. There's on this key, these little dots next to the symbols also show how many each of these symbols are in the grid. And so for like the advanced sheet, some of the difference between there is that each of the missions on the beginner or the kind of original sheets is the same. Whereas here, there are more locations on this mission that it would be beneficial to have a science officer with you. And this location here, it would be more beneficial to have your Marines with you. And this one here would be more beneficial if you have an engineer with you. And so you'll see some of the differences here is, hey, we could go from a location only having one of these to a location having 3 of these. So they're variable. You also can choose, in this one, you're going to choose like your crew member, and then you're going to roll a die to see actually which mission you're going to go on. And then from there, you get to kind of finish it out. But again, just providing some variability to the game. Now, the gameplay itself, again, even if you were to use the same sheet over and over again, I think there's a lot of variability that comes with the game because of that randomness of the die. As far as multiplayer and playing this with others, it's kind of fun. Again, it's fun. It's you think about it as bingo. Everyone has, called out, I-16 or whatever, the original bingo. This is representing pulling those numbers, right? And so you may have the same or some similarities between the folks there as they go through, but you also have these transporter failures. So throughout the game, you can twice move to the left or right if there's open spots, or up and down. You utilize those to change where you're at. You can do that to avoid those alien hordes, or you can do that to get to advantageous locations before you leave that mission and take your discoveries back up. So it's really fun. So there's that basic concept of gaining points throughout each mission here. There's also some progress tracks that you gain. So the Marines are interesting. Whenever you have one of these open locations here, you get to fill in these little hexagons here per Marine that you have. So if you have 1 Marine, you're going to just fill in 1 of those boxes. If you were to have 3 Marines, you could fill in all 3 of those each time that were to happen. And so as you progress that, you can get bonus points here. So you got 9 points from that survey bonus. And the tech bonus, I was able to get up to 16 points. The first mission, I lost my scientist and I didn't gain anything. And I decided just to kind of focus on these 2 here. So there's a lot to the timing of this and decisions. And I think it's a really fun print and play game. Very minimal as far as what's required of you, which I love. It keeps it nice and simple. No cutting or pasting or anything like that. You just grab a pen, a die, and you're ready to go. So that is Away Team Bingo. I've really enjoyed it. Go ahead and check it out if you are catching it during its campaign. I'll post a link to that. If not, you can check out Eury Dice's website. Both links in the description to this video, as well as a full solo playthrough of the game as well. So yeah, really fun. That is Away Team Bingo, and that is how Lou sees it.